Acute inflammation. An overview. Welcome to this in-depth episode where we unravel the intricate details of acute inflammation, a fundamental concept in pathology. Today, we will explore its definition, triggers, the sequential cellular and vascular events, the chemical messengers involved, potential outcomes, and some practical clinical examples. Let us begin by understanding acute inflammation. It is an immediate and nonspecific defense mechanism that the body mobilizes when confronted with harmful stimuli. This process is essential for eliminating the initial cause of cell injury, clearing away necrotic debris, and setting the stage for tissue repair. Recognized for its rapid onset, acute inflammation typically emerges within seconds to minutes after injury and tends to resolve within a few hours to several days. During this process, we often observe the leakage of fluid and plasma proteins into tissues, a phenomenon known as edema, and a marked migration of white blood cells, predominantly neutrophils, to the affected site. The classical signs of inflammation were first described by the Roman physician Celsus: redness, swelling, heat, and pain. Later, the term loss of function was added by the scientist Firko to round out the clinical picture. Now, what can set off acute inflammation? The triggers are remarkably diverse. Infections are a common cause, be they bacterial, viral, fungal, or parasitic in origin. Tissue necrosis, which might result from lack of blood supply, physical injury, burns, or exposure to radiation, is another. The body can also react to foreign materials such as splinters, surgical sutures, dust particles, or even crystals found in gout. Lastly, immune reactions, such as allergies or autoimmune diseases, are also capable of sparking this response. Let us step into the sequence of events that unfold. The acute inflammatory response is orchestrated through a series of vascular and cellular changes. Initially, there is a brief constriction of blood vessels, which is quickly followed by dilation. This dilation increases blood flow to the area, leading to redness and heat, two of the hallmark signs. The small blood vessels become more permeable, allowing protein-rich fluid to leak into the surrounding tissue. This accumulation of fluid causes swelling or edema. As fluid leaves the vessels, the blood thickens and flows more slowly, a state known as stasis, setting the scene for white blood cells to move towards the vessel walls. The journey of these white blood cells, mainly neutrophils, from the bloodstream to the site of injury is known as leukocyte extravasation. It is a finely tuned process that includes several steps. First, the cells move toward the periphery of the blood vessel, a stage called margination. They then begin to roll along the vessel wall, forming brief and weak attachments. Eventually, these connections become firm, and the cells adhere securely to the endothelium. Next, the white blood cells squeeze between the cells lining the blood vessel, making their way out into the surrounding tissue, a process called transmigration or diapedesis. Once outside, the cells follow chemical signals, migrating directly toward the site of injury. When they arrive, their primary tasks are recognition, engulfment, and destruction of the offending agent. This is achieved through a process known as phagocytosis. The harmful particle is first coated by molecules called opsonins, which enhance the ability of the white blood cell to recognize and ingest it. The particle is then enclosed within the cell and ultimately destroyed by an arsenal of microbicidal mechanisms, including reactive oxygen and nitrogen species, as well as various enzymes. An orchestra of chemical messengers, known as mediators, directs and amplifies the inflammatory response. Let us highlight some principal ones. Histamine, released by mast cells, basophils, and platelets, is a powerful inducer of blood vessel dilation and increased permeability. Serotonin, mainly from platelets, has a similar effect. Prostaglandins, produced by many types of white blood cells, contribute to vessel dilation, pain, and fever. Leukotrienes, also from white blood cells, are involved in recruiting additional cells and increasing permeability. Cytokines such as tumor necrosis factor and interleukin-1, largely produced by macrophages, bring about fever and the activation of the blood vessel lining. Chemokines direct the trafficking of white blood cells to the injured site. The complement system, a group of plasma proteins, acts to recruit cells, increase permeability, and mark pathogens for destruction. Other mediators such as bradykinin and nitric oxide contribute to the sensation of pain and further enhance inflammation. What happens when the dust settles? Acute inflammation can resolve in several ways. Ideally, the injurious agent is eliminated, the fluid and cellular debris are cleared, and the tissue returns to its original state, a process known as complete resolution. However, if the tissue damage is extensive or the tissue cannot regenerate, healing may occur by fibrosis, leaving behind a scar. In some cases, if the cause of inflammation persists, the process can transition to a chronic state dominated by different immune cells and ongoing tissue remodeling. Occasionally, the inflammatory process results in the formation of an abscess, a localized collection of pus surrounded by fibrous tissue. Clinically, acute inflammation can manifest in various patterns. Serous inflammation is characterized by the accumulation of clear fluid, as seen in blisters from burns or friction. Fibrinous inflammation, which occurs with more severe injury, involves the deposition of a protein called fibrin and is often observed in body cavities such as the lining of the heart or lungs. Purulent or suppurative inflammation generates large amounts of pus, exemplified by abscesses or the accumulation of pus in body spaces. Ulcers, on the other hand, are open sores formed by the loss of tissue in areas such as the stomach or mouth. In summary, acute inflammation is a cornerstone of the body's defense system. While its cardinal signs, redness, swelling, heat, pain, and loss of function, may seem unpleasant, they are evidence of a powerful and vital response to injury. Understanding these processes is crucial not only for clinicians but also for anyone interested in the workings of the human body, particularly as many common medications, such as anti-inflammatory drugs, exert their effects by modulating these very mechanisms. Thank you for joining this detailed exploration of acute inflammation. For more insights on the complexities of human health and disease, stay tuned and subscribe to our channel for future episodes. It's the Everything Surgery Podcast. Dissect the extraordinary.